All right, we're back. Unfortunately, technology is getting the best of us, but hopefully, this is better. I'm hoping everyone can hear me, and more importantly, when Shauna comes in, I'm hoping that she can hear me and we can get this great interview because I'm really excited to be able to talk to her. So, hopefully, this time things will pan out a little better for the both of us. So I'm just waiting on her to join. Hello everybody. I'm just waiting on her to join and hopefully okay, she's here. Let me see if I can. I'm hoping this is better. I do apologize. Let's see. Let's keep our fingers keep
Got
our
my fingers crossed.
let's keep our fingers crossed.
Oh my God, I got fingers crossed, y'all.
Can you hear me?
Yep, so far so good.
Okay. So this is a better connection.
Yes.
Woo! Okay. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into it because I don't want to waste any more time with
Okay.
technology and this connection. So again,
Yes.
know you're
Yes, we good. I got you. I hear you very loud and clear, 100% now.
good. I'm glad. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Listen, we already talked about COVID. How you doing? You said you're doing your what you can to maintain, and that you have already transformed your home, but you're being obedient to the rules, right?
Yes, absolutely. Because I got a little one at home, and I don't want to put her at risk in any way. So as bad as I may want to go out and get rid of some of this cabin fever, I can't do that.
Yes, definitely. Listen, I completely understand. So,
Oh God, it's doing it again.
is it? No.
Okay, now there you go.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Civil unrest at this time. Everything that is going on in the country.
Mhm.
We're in the middle of a unprecedented time. In our racially in the United States. I just want to know briefly your thoughts on that.
Well, my thoughts are, we're frustrated, we're fed up, and I think what happened following the tragic death of George Floyd was just an accumulation of everything that we've been dealing with from not just him, from all of the senseless violence, the police brutality, the lockdown, the COVID situation, just the frustrations of everything. Just kind of, it was, I think George Floyd was like the straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak, and just let the lid off of the pot and it just overflowed. And, I don't think it's necessarily appropriate to just tear up the neighborhoods and destroy essential, um, just the Walgreens, the grocery stores, just food and just essentials that you need in a time like this. I don't think that is a good idea, but I do understand that people are frustrated. We've tried to be peaceful. We've done the peaceful protesting. We've done the kneeling and the why and trying to get answers, and it's to no avail. So now I felt like people were just backed up against the wall. And when you get backed up against the wall, you just have to come out fighting. And that's kind of what happened. And now we just all trying to come together and put the pieces back together.
Right. With today, uh, we're watching where no black outside. Can you hear me?
I really don't want to do this like this because I can't hear your questions. I really wanted to do a very thorough, in-depth interview with you, but I don't see how we can do that if I can barely hear your questions.
Okay, so it went out again.
Yeah, I
Oh,
didn't hear anything at that time.
okay. All right. Let's see. I'm not exactly sure how else. I'm not exactly sure what is going on.
I don't either, because like right now I can hear everything that you're saying, but when you were asking the question, I couldn't hear anything. It was just choppy. It's like muting you here and there.
That is so strange. Okay. Someone is telling me they're saying it's on my end.
Yeah.
Hmm. You know what? Let me see if I can. I'm not exactly sure. All right. You know what? I've never done this before. I've literally never moved, but hold 1 second. I love
No,
you. Never
sure. No,
while
no problem. No problem. Go ahead. It's fine, no problem. 1 second. Hey y'all, what's up? I got caught outside, man. I was at the bank earlier, y'all, for 3 hours. They made me wait outside for an hour to go see a banker because somebody stole my debit card. My daughter and my niece is in the restaurant right now by themselves, waiting on me to finish. So
All right.
thank
Am
y'all
I a
for
little
tuning in and bearing with us.
am I a little
You
better
there,
now?
Sarah?
Yes.
I can
Am
hear
I a
you
little
now.
now? I'm good.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. All right. Look, we'll try it again. We'll try it again. Listen, if we
Okay.
can't get it done today, we will definitely make sure that we are rescheduling.
Yeah, because I really want to get this. I'm excited to do a really good interview with you, and I don't want any technical difficulties
Right.
to like interfere with that.
Okay. Everybody's saying it's better. It's good now. So hopefully it can stay this way and we can keep going.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Again, and I don't want to
Hey,
take up too much of
Kim.
your time. I know you got to get back into the restaurant.
Yeah, it's
So,
okay. They big girls. They playing Robux, so they good.
okay. Okay. Listen, so before we get into, your latest projects, I just want to talk briefly about you being the daughter of a musician.
Yes.
So daughter of the famous Buddy Guy, who actually this summer was supposed to have a show at NJPAC before COVID and before everything got canceled. As a marketing manager there, that was actually supposed to be one of my shows, which is
Yeah.
which is one of the reasons why I was definitely so interested in making sure I got a chance to interview you as
Thank
well. So
you.
what is
Thank
that
you.
like? We are watching all the reality shows, growing up hip hop and growing up in the household with a musician. What was that like for you?
It was normal for me. Honestly, he left the showman Buddy Guy on the road, and when he came home, he was dead. He didn't play the guitar at home. He didn't sing songs at home. He didn't sit me down and say, "Hey, look, you're gonna be in a musician or anything." It was just like any other dad. Did you clean up your room? Did you do your homework? Don't stay out too late. Just things like that, which I love because it gave me balance. I
Hmm.
didn't grow up
Hmm.
like a spoiled little rich kid or anything like that. Even though we had a very nice lifestyle, I'm very blessed. But my dad was able to keep a lot of balance in the house because he's a country, he old man from the country, and you that never left him. He still
Yeah.
to this day gets up and makes his ham hocks and his red beans and rice on his own, and he
Right.
don't want nobody cooking for him. He don't got no 5-star chefs in the house cooking or nothing like that. He gonna get up and go to the grocery store and cook his own stuff and just live his life the way he wants to.
Mm, awesome. That is awesome. That is good. And he made sure that you were well rounded. So that is
Yeah.
great.
Yes,
That is great.
absolutely.
But now
Yeah.
but now I want to get in. I want to delve into you.
Okay.
I want to delve into you. And historically speaking, I remember you coming on the scene in the early 2000s just with a strong presence and a strong character and
Yeah.
just that female, that is who you are. That's what your lyrics said. You
Yeah.
were unapologetically you weren't
Yeah.
ashamed to be you. First and foremost, kudos to you for doing that. Kudos to you for being who you are.
Thank
I
you.
want to know what is the courage come from, in a game and in an industry that can sometimes steal that from you. Where does that come from? Where do you draw the strength from?
I've always been very competitive, and
Mm.
more so competitive with the boys. I grew up like as a tomboy. I love to play sports. I played baseball, softball, basketball, volleyball, anything. Um, I cried when my mom bought me a 10 speed instead of a dirt bike. Like I was always very tomboyish. So when I got into my artistry and realized that I really had a passion for rapping, I think that carried on into that. And I paid more attention to the guys and wanted to
Mm.
be better than them more so than the women because to sit and talk about girly things, hair and clothes and pearls and diamonds. It just was something that I wasn't interested in. I kind of just wanted to be very grimy and just very aggressive and in your face. And now what? You know what I'm saying? Now what you
Mhm.
gonna do? You got beat by a girl. You know what I mean? Like I've always been like that. And
Listen.
honestly, it goes back to my dad. He would take my brother and I to shows when we were very young, like 8 and 9, and we would be able to see him go on stage and just it would be like groves of people, like Woodstock type of shows, and he literally would be on fire. He would take he would unplug his guitar and walk out into the crowd fearlessly. So to see something like that at a young age, it kind of breaks the fear because that's your hero. You see your hero doing it and you want to live up to that. You want to be like that. So once I got chances to get on stage in front of people like that, it just took over. It just that spirit of him and what I saw as a kid just took over. And I kind of black out, honestly, when I'm on stage. A lot of times when I get off stage, I'm like, how did I do? And they like, yo, you jumped off the speaker into the crowd. I'm like, I did what? You know what I'm saying? Because I literally black out. I never heard anybody say that until like I heard Beyonce refer to herself in third person as Sasha Fierce. And she says when she gets on stage, she just turns into this alter ego and then she's not there anymore. She's just that. And then when she gets off stage, it's back to Beyonce. So that was refreshing to hear somebody else say that. Knew I wasn't crazy, but that literally happens to this day when I get on stage.
hmm hmm So, what is some of your motivations for some of your latest projects that have been going on?
That's a good question because I really need it right now, and I'm not like the music that's out right now is just not of my day. I'm not trying to knock it or anything, but it's just not my sound. We didn't really go off into a lot of auto tune until T-Pain kind of kicked the door in and did his thing with that. Well, of course, the artists back in the Computer Love, and I know we had Roger and Zapp and artists that did it, but in the hip hop world, it wasn't really in your face like that until T-Pain kind of brought it. So it was just rapping. Like I was in the studio with Cole Hard of Crucial Conflict last night, and he made a comment that said, "Looking good on stage just came out." And what we were saying was, back in our day, it wasn't really about your Gucci and your Louis and your red bottom shoes and your diamonds and stuff. It was about getting on stage and showcasing skill. It was about the process of elimination. You got to get rid of these artists. So you got to get on this stage and you got to kick ass. And we literally would go on stage in sweats and like Tommy Hilfiger Nautica coats or the fresh Jordans and a starter coat. And that was it. But, like our skill was what we wanted to show off more so than any type of clothing or jewelry or cars or whatever they want to do nowadays. So it's hard for me to get motivated because it's not as competitive. You know what I mean? It's like right now the hip hop is just in a bragging state. Everything is I got this, I got that, I got this, I flossed that. Well, back when I started rapping, it was just lyricism, it was metaphors, it was phrases that could outdo the other artists. It was songs and content that could outdo other artists to put you in the forefront. So I need motivation now from that angle because that's who I am. That's the artist that I am. I'll brag here and there, but that's not really what I'm interested in. You know what I mean? I want to be lyrical. I want to have content. I want to make records that will have longevity. Like Getting Some. You could still turn on Getting Some to this day. It's relevant. People gonna be getting some until we can't get no more. You know what I'm saying? What's Your Fantasy? It's a longevity record. The content is just so general that it'll always last. You know what I mean? I don't like to rap about phases or fads because that's not gonna last.
hmm So, as an artist, what do you do? So, without the motivation there, without the competition there, what do you do? How do you get your art across? How do you, especially at this time, like you said, we're having
It's
cabin fever. What do you
yeah.
do to be able to get it out?
It's hard. I'm not even gonna lie, but honestly, I just go back and listen to some of the music from my day. I go back and listen to the old Nas, the AZ, the Wu Tang, the old Kim, Biggie, Pop. Like I go back and listen to that, and it's like it's refreshing. I'm not even gonna lie. It's just that's just because that's just my day. That's what I grew up. That's what I grew into. So it's home for me.
Mhm. Mhm. And what about creating for yourself though?
For me, I have to kind of put myself in a zone. Um, Honestly, I never go into the studio with an idea of what I'm going to write about. I like to really collaborate with the producer. I was talking to a producer yesterday about this, how usually when they make the beat, they have the hook and the content is there because they build the track around that. But a
Mhm.
lot of times they get intimidated to express that to the artist because we come in with this cockiness and this, and this attitude that I got it, I'm about to do this, I'm about to create my song, this is my wave. Whereas I just like to work collectively with artists. So if I get with a producer, I want his or her full input. If I get with a musician, I want his or her full input. Don't just come into the studio and just let me take over. It's a collaboration. It's a collective, and that's just how I like to work. And that kind of motivates me because the energy is there,
Right.
the energy.
Right.
And I like to also work with young and up and coming artists, not so much artists that are kind of comfortable with themselves and kind of caught their lane and they wave. Once you get to a certain plateau, you can kind of put out anything and people just gonna buy it because they love you. They're gonna buy into
Mhm.
you. But when you first trying to get on the scene, you making music to to be number one. You putting your blood, sweat, and tears into this music. You trying to make sure you get to where you trying to go. And when I work with new and up and coming artists, I get that energy from them, and it motivates me as well to get back into my zone. Whereas that's when you're on fire, when you really trying to put your all into it.
Hmm. Well, I mean, it's been said, on a number of the interviews that we've had here on Backstage that there is something that's missing right now
Mm-hmm.
in music, and I believe you just touched on it even in the rap game. Who are some of the older artists that you would like to work with now to create what's missing right now in music?
Oh, that's a good one. Like definitely, I still love AZ. I think AZ
Hmm.
was so slept on. Um, There was a group out of the West Coast called the Five Footer Crew. It was a group of young women. They actually landed a song on one of the, I think it was, if it wasn't Minister Society, it was Boys in the Hood. It was one of those, forgive me for not knowing, but it was one of those soundtracks that they landed um a really nice track on, and that's how I first heard about them. But definitely Missy, definitely
Hmm.
Pharrell. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? It's still gonna
Hmm.
go back to the artist from my day to that. Like um Queen Latifah, MC Light, like as far as production, still getting with Timberland, still getting with Swiss Beats, still getting with Manny Fresh. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
cause that's my day. That's what excites me. That's what excites me.
Hmm.
And in the studio last night, I was having this conversation because someone said me and Nuisance from Chicago. She's out of the group Psychodrama, very well known group. We are working on some stuff, and I just said it has to make sense because we can't talk that young talk no more. I'm not in the streets or hanging around with guys that's in the streets like that anymore. I got children I'm trying to raise, and to be quite honest with you, um, my kid's father has been sentenced to 119 years in jail, and that street life, that's what comes with the street life. So I'm really, glorifying that is really, not my thing anymore because I learned the hard way that it's dark at the end of that one. It's dark. It's
Yeah.
dark. So I don't want to be one of the artists that glorify that and try to teach young and lead young people in that direction. And I know what's coming at the end of that. I would rather uplift them and teach them and let them learn from my mistakes, to not go that route, to prepare yourself to be better than that and make better decisions than I did. So for me to do records like that with those kind of artists that we used to do that kind of music, it just has to make sense now. As a grown woman, as a mother, it has to make sense because I'm not going to talk that talk anymore because I've outgrown that. I've matured. I've learned my lesson from those decisions.
Hmm. What other advice? Because you mentioned working with up and coming artists, and then you mentioned, what you did when you were younger and what you can't do now and what you shouldn't do now. But what other advice would you give to some of the up and coming artists that you're working with as far as the music industry is concerned?
I got two main things that I really drop on the young artists. The first and foremost, y'all got to know everybody can't go. Meaning, you want your team to eat, you want to put your people on, but if your people have not placed themselves in positions to have um, reliable resources within this industry, then you shouldn't put them in position to control your business. You are a brand. You are a company. You have to carry yourself like that. So when you get ready to hire employees, it's like taking resumes. You have to take a resume of someone who is experienced and who has created these relationships in the industry and develop these resources that can help take you to the plateau that you need to reach. If you're trying to take your homeboy or fam or bro them with you and they don't know anything about it, they're simply learning throughout your process. And we all know time is of the essence. And they call it 15 minutes of fame. And I think now in 2020, it's gone to like 15 seconds, honestly. So you have to be wise with that short time frame of how you make decisions for your career, for your well-being, for your longevity. And the second thing that I tell them is to make sure you completely understand the wording and the verbiage in your contracts, because you are signing your name to a legal binding, a legal agreement. And if you sign and you're saying yes to things that you are unaware of, when they get ready to present it to you, there's no way you can really fight that. You signed and said, yes, I'll do this. An example, they'll push those. Well, back in the day, I'm not sure with these 360 deals. Back when I was signing deals, they give you this big, huge advance and they just throw that in your face. And young artists like myself are like, whoa, $75,000. Where do I sign? You don't want to hear anything else except the check. You know what I'm saying? But you're not looking into the contract where it states they're going to get 10 albums from you with no time stipulation. So that doesn't mean you can drop 2 albums, 3 albums per year. That may mean you'll drop 1 album this year and it'll be 2 more years before you drop another one. And on top of that, you got 10 of them that you got to feed this you leave. That's 10 albums. You know what I mean? You got to just think like that. You have to be smart and always know that that's a loan. You have to understand that a loan gains. Show business, we say, ain't no money like show money, because that's your money. That's the money that comes straight to you. They don't even tax it. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it real. You can't even tax that money. That's cash money from hand to hand that comes straight to you. That's the money you want to go and get. Stay away from that contractual money, because that is a loan and that's going to have to come back out of your resources, whether it's your shows, whether it's your royalties, whether it's your endorsements, whatever it may be. And the language that I'm speaking to you is the language that you need to know that you love, and you are abreast and you understand what's going on. Don't let people conduct your business for you. Make sure you understand 100% exactly what each person on your team is doing, and you understand it. So it's only right.
Right, of course, of course. Listen, I want to go quickly into your Kidnation project.
Yes.
So, tell us a little bit about what Kidnation is and how you are a part of that.
Kidnation is actually a foundation that Ludacris is involved in, and he kind of just called me and asked me to give him a little help with it to get the push going. But the basis of it is just right now what we're dealing with this pandemic and this quarantine and the COVID-19. And we have to understand that children are just as much aware of what's going on as we are. They're just as much a part of this world as we are. And we have to understand that they have responsibilities too, as far as keeping themselves clean, their hygiene, understanding the importance of practicing social distancing, and just overall the transition that we're making into this new normal. It's not just about adults, it's about children as well, because those are our future leaders. So we have
Mhm.
to make sure they are aware of what we're dealing with. And it's a fun way to get the kids involved with what we're dealing with, because you have to talk to them. They have emotions, they have thoughts, they have concerns about what we're dealing with. They know they're not in school. They know they can't go out to the water parks. They know they can't see their friends like they used to. They know. And don't just let them just be in their devices all day and TikToking all day and just getting into that social world. Talk to them. Make sure they are aware of what's going on. And I think that foundation is just a group of people who have realized that and wanted to do something for the kids. And it's using children to speak to other children. So it's a language that they recognize.
Hmm. I think that's awesome because, we're often concerned about how we're getting through this, but what about them too?
Absolutely.
Everybody doesn't just adjust and come out on the other side, well. So that's awesome. But what about you also at this time period? So how are you, what is getting you through on a day-to-day basis?
Honestly, I was already practicing social distancing. I live in Chicago, okay?
Hmm.
So I don't really go a lot of places. I'm scared. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm afraid. I don't. You won't catch me out in the open, out in the hood. You won't catch me going to a lot of different parties and stuff like that. So it wasn't a big change for me. Like, I do like to go to a restaurant here and there, go shopping or stuff, or take the kids out and have fun. But other than that, I was already in the house, so it really didn't bother me. I'm not even gonna lie. And I think we should take this time to get into ourselves. Take time to look at really what's going on in the world and set a plan up. Because whatever plan you had in 2019 and 2018 for your next 5 years is obviously going to have to be adjusted. So take this time to recollect, to understand, to be knowledgeable of what's going on, and just replan and prepare yourself for the next things that are to come, which we don't know. Every day is something different, but just take time to get to know yourself. Reach out to people who you haven't had a chance to, because we as adults are always on the go. We always ripping and running. We always got to do this, got to do that, got to chase the bag, got to get to the money, got to pay the bills, got to take care of the kids. Take some time to breathe. I've been trying to practice meditation. I've been trying to just get into things that kind of make me happy outside of being out in the world. What really makes me happy? What really makes me content with myself? And I
Hmm.
encourage people to do that as well, because I feel so refreshed. I'm happy. I'm more calm now that
Hmm.
I'm able to have time to just sit and think and relax and chill and not worry about the next rush of things I got to rush out the house to go do.
Hmm. So with this time period, what's next for Shauna? You have, all of your fans are watching right now. They're
Mm-hmm.
listening. They're commenting. Everybody wants you to, have some new project that comes out. So what's next
Yes,
for Shauna? What's next?
we are dropping. We're gonna drop Voodoo Child. I named the album Voodoo Child because of my Louisiana roots. I think it's time to kind of dive into that. I always rep Chicago. I'm Chicago to the death of Chicago. They know it. I love the city, but there's another side of me that I have not expressed, and it comes from my Louisiana roots. My dad is from Lettsworth, Louisiana, originally, and moved to Baton Rouge when he was young. And I've always visited family there. His entire side of the family is there in Louisiana. So we all go down there all the time. It's a big part of my upbringing, a big part of who I am. And I'm just a fan of the original Voodoo Child that was cut by Jimi Hendrix. And my dad also does a rendition of it. And every time he plays it, my mouth drops. I'm just in awe. So it's just something special and important to me to do while I still have him here with me. And I never drop a project without collaborating with him. So to kind of, I would always bring him into my world. So now it's kind of me stepping into his world. I'm going more so into my musicianship. I'm going more so into singing and composing. It's just the mature Shauna. It's the grown woman Shauna that I'm presenting to you with this album.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
I hope that my fans have matured with me as well. It's kind of like Jay-Z's line when he said, niggas want the old me, by my old album. You know, life is about evolving, and you have to grow, and you have to reach new levels in order
Mm-hmm.
to survive, in order to maintain. And that's all I've been doing. And I just want to continue being a creative. I want to continue to grow. I want to continue to inspire. And the only way that I can do that is to push myself to be better, push myself to try different things, you know, think outside the box, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I'm doing with Voodoo Child. That's why I named it Voodoo Child, because y'all have no idea what I'm about to bring you. It's just a new me. It's I'm cooking it up. It's magical. It's just me finally letting down all my guards and my boundaries and my inhibitions and just being who I was put here to be.
Mm. Awesome. I mean, completely
Thank
awesome. And I know
you. Thank
I
you.
can't wait. And I
Thank
know,
you.
all of your fans who are in the chat right now, I know they can't wait. And I said I wouldn't keep you too long. And I know we had some technical difficulties in the beginning, but I just want to know, what do you want to leave your fans with today? What is a final thought for you as we come to the close of this interview?
I want to say thank you to everybody who has just held me down for so long. I never really did a lot of interviews, a lot of talking about what was going on with me. I'm a very private person. I value my privacy. I love my family, and a lot of people, you know, I left people with speculation about what happened with DTP, what happened with T-Pain, and honestly, you guys, it was no one but myself. I just wanted to be, I just wanted to be a mother. I wanted to go home. I wanted to get away from the ugly side of the industry. And it's not even just, it wasn't even just DTP or T-Pain. It's just being in that industry, being in a woman in the music industry is really hard. And raising young women at the same time, it was a weight. So I just had to go home. I found myself not being as creative as I used to, feeling like I wasn't fulfilling myself. So I wanted to go home and just wipe the slate clean and start over, because regardless of how they may feel, talent does not get old. Talent does not get old. Talent just evolves. So I never had to worry about being able to come back to the industry. I knew I would come back, but I had to come back as Shawnna. I couldn't come back as who they wanted me to to be, you know. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm still gonna give you that raw, uncut, in your face Shauna, but I mean, come on now. I'm too grown to be talking some of that stuff, you know? So
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say that I thank everybody for holding on, hanging in there with me, waiting. And I know we're in a very negative time right now, but I want everybody to just try to be positive, try to lead with love, live with love. The industry right now is so opinionated. It's so the social media platforms have given so many people a voice, and a lot of it is negative. A lot of people have this darkness on them, and they spew it and they throw it out there at you. But I just want everybody to be mindful, to just stay positive, because the world has enough darkness going on right now. We need more positivity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And on that note, I don't even know what else can be said after that.
Thank you.
We need light in the world. We have
Yes, we
you
do.
working on a project. And when does Voodoo Child come out?
Well, right now we were set to drop it for the summer, but because of what's going on, we're doing a little pushback, trying to get, you know, figure out if we're gonna have to do shows virtually, you know, and things like that, because we really anticipated on getting out here, doing some radio promo, doing some club pop-ups, booking shows so I could perform the music and bring a live band and show people in the physical what I'm trying to bring to the game now. And you know, that's just kind of on the back burner because what we're dealing with. So we just one day at a time trying to figure it out. That's why I've been dropping singles here and there to just kind of let everybody know that the team is working. We definitely got the project. We got the meat of the project. I'm always adding to it because I'm constantly writing, constantly in the studio. But we definitely are figuring it out because everything is virtual now, you know. So once we
Mm-hmm.
get a plan that's doing that, we'll know more. So everybody can rock with me on my Instagram, Shauna Worldwide. You know, all the music is out there on all the major platforms. I got plenty of new music. That's because a lot of people say, "Where's the new music? Where's the new music?" It's out. It's out. It's on all the major platforms. I love to hear feedback. Can y'all please? Yes, it's on Tidal. It's on Spotify. It's on everything. Everything. It's there. Just look it up. Y'all hit me on my IG. Give me some feedback. Let me know how y'all feel about it. Y'all know I'm always interacting with y'all. Y'all know I'm not one of them stuck up, nose in the air type of artists, celebrities. What I like to say, I'm only a celebrity when it's time to be.
Mhm. Mhm.
And that's
Mhm.
real talk.
And that makes sense. And that makes sense. Listen, thank you so much. Thank you so much for today's interview. Thank you for bearing with us
Thank you
throughout our
so much for having me. I'm so
technical
glad we got past
difficulties.
the technical difficulties.
Yes, yes, and we will definitely have to do this again as long as we're in this virtual world. Hopefully, we can do this again, and when we get back to the regular world, hopefully, we can have you at New Jersey Performing Arts Center, gracing our stages. At a show. We're going to have to, rebook your father. Hopefully, we
Yes,
can book you as well
I would love
when
to.
Voodoo
I
Child
would
comes
love
out.
to. I'm going to try to come out there. If he gets rebooked, I'm going to try to come there for his show as
Please
well.
do.
Because he
Please
brings
do.
me out on stage and makes me sing with him every time I'm with him.
Oh, that is awesome. Oh,
I
I would have
love
loved
it.
to see that this summer.
Yes, yes.
Well, again, thank you. I don't want to hold you up from the restaurant any longer. So
No,
go,
it's
you
fine.
go.
Thank you so, so much. I really enjoyed you.
Thank you so much. All right, listen, for all of the fans who are in here right now of Shauna, you guys got firsthand, hopefully, everything that you wanted to know. We are definitely going to be looking forward to Voodoo Child when it comes out. And of course, when the world opens back up and you have a show, we will be there and we will be supporting. Keep being you, keep doing what you do, keep being you because the game needs you.
Thank you so
The
much.
game
Thank you. I
needs
will.
you.
I will. It's tough, but I'm built for it. So
All right
thank you
now.
again. Thank you so much. And I'm looking forward to speaking to you soon.
Yes.
All
All
right, bye
righty.
everybody. Y'all stay cool out here in this Africa heat.
Yes.
Mwah.
Yes. So everybody, I am Latoya Chanel. This is NJPAC Backstage. We just had Shauna who is in with us. Thank you for tuning in every week, every Tuesday at 6 p.m. We have more great shows for you coming up for the rest of the summer. So please make sure you are tuned in every week, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.